I just want to welcome everybody back into the basement. Here we are for
Rap
another
Rap City
episode of podcast. So anyway, we've just finished one of our recent podcasts talking about Trump for African Americans. However, now we want to talk about Colin Kaepernick and his silent protest and a lot of the outcry that has been out there. So if people don't understand, Colin Kaepernick plays for the 49ers. He has been actively sitting out of the national anthem by not standing for it. And then a lot of people have been really, really butthurt because that man has not been standing. So I just want to kind of go around the table as we speak. I guess let's introduce ourselves. But I want to go around the table to share what we think about it.
I'm D-Money.
All right. Well, how do you feel about it, D-Money?
I mean, I love memes. I love Black Twitter because they just put together everything so just eloquently with, just the hypocrisy of everything. People get mad at Colin Kaepernick for sitting down. That's his form of protest. It's not violent. It's not disturbing anybody. It's his own. Then you had, in the primaries, I believe, Donald Trump not covering his heart when all his other primary candidates did during the national anthem. And he's actually a politician. He's going to be responsible for people's votes. So I don't understand why these fans who have no connection to him are just so abhorrent in their behavior. It's disgusting.
Well, we know why.
What?
Well, we get to that, the why. All right, go ahead, T-Dot.
My issue, first of all,
You should have said, we said, we'll get to that. I know, but.
I'm sorry, Tina.
Nah, you good. My issue is more so how everyone wants to say, oh, he's disrespecting the military. I hate that. It's like, no, that's not what the military is for. The military has absolutely nothing to do with the Star Spangled Banner, with the national anthem, with any of these old ass songs. They don't have nothing to do with that. And for people to feel like this is an act that's going against America, all of the times you're disrespecting Obama, that's disrespecting America. The military fights for the freedom to stand or sit or place your hand over your chest or not, because everybody acted like they lost their goddamn minds when Gabby Douglas didn't put her hand over her chest. So that's not a song that you're supposed to put your hand over.
6 other whole teams didn't put their hand over their chest. The whole team, I'm talking about team sports, didn't put their hand over their chest.
But the thing is, you put your hand over your chest for the Pledge of Allegiance, not the national anthem. No, I'm saying the national anthem never was one of the songs where you're supposed to put your hand over your chest.
You're just supposed to take your hat off.
You're supposed to take your hat off. The Pledge of Allegiance is the one that you put your hand over your chest. So people are out here upset, butthurt, white tears, whatever, over the wrong things. And it's just another way of, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Don't know what you want us to do, but when we do something, you still got a problem with it.
Full disclosure.
No, you're in timeout.
Skip.
Colin Kaepernick is a frat brother of mine, so I'm putting that out there. And
I'm gonna let you finish, but let me.
All right, Kanye.
But for me, it was just like one of those things. People always said he didn't do the right protest. Tell me in the history of America the right protest.
What would have been the right protest?
That's all I have.
Has nothing
That's
to
all
say.
I have.
Nigga. Help me. Nick, go ahead, Mel, you up?
Oh, okay. I was just, you gotta make sure Cyrus finished. Hi, my name
Speaking
is
to the
Susie.
dead.
My thing about the protest, I love it. My greatest concern is everybody's all up in arms about him not standing, but nobody has nothing to say about the fact that the NFL does not require you to stand. So, like, how can you pick and choose? How can you buffet this? Like
I want a
this
little bit
ain't
of this.
Burger King. It's not
Skip
your way.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and to go back to what Dorian said, why? The reason is why is because of the topic for which he is doing it for. Okay? But
He just
the
said
black
justice.
struggle. Yeah,
He just
justice,
said
period.
justice.
Mainly what is going on with black people.
And other minorities.
If he had been standing for the Orlando shooting, Nobody would have said nothing.
That is a good point.
Okay, if he would have been standing for women's right to be paid equal pay for equal work, nobody would have said nothing.
All the suburban moms would have been out there for that.
Okay, so we know why, but I mean, what you expect? So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Are you finished or are you done, Terrell?
I mean, I'm just saying there's a whole nother topic, but you go right on ahead.
You done? I mean, Terrell took my point because I was gonna bring up Gabby Douglas, but
Stole it.
next time,
Well,
Mike,
that's
can we? Next time, Mike, can we start on this end of the table?
You gotta be quicker than that.
I know.
We going at it.
That's all you got to say?
I was just gonna say I agree with everybody.
That's it.
Thank you.
I got 3 quick points to make.
Make them.
First quick point.
Boom.
The Star Spangled Banner was about how the flag looked while America was getting their ass kicked in the war.
Get their ass whooped.
Number 2, Star Spangled Banner ends with, what we sing ends with "Land of the Free, Home of the Brave," and then a couple verses later they talk about slaves. That ain't free.
Third verse.
Third verse, couple verses later. There's 2 couple.
Second verse. Moving right along.
58, 59.
And the last, I had to actually deal with this situation when I was in the 8th grade playing basketball.
Young Sturtevant.
Actually, yeah.
But were you getting buckets?
For my man and his buckets.
First off, I was not getting buckets. Niggas was 5th quarter starters in this. You remember 5th quarter, Mike? You remember 5th quarter, Mike? Yeah. Okay. No, I wasn't getting buckets. That wasn't until high school. I was fatter than I was now. I was a big round.
What?
Mound. I was a round mound of rebound.
Is that possible?
But the national anthem was playing, and all of my life, because
I had to fight.
Stop, let him get it for you.
right.
We are on a time
So
limit.
with the national anthem, Pledge of Allegiance, all that stuff, I have never stood, I've never crossed my heart, I've never done any of that for the same reasons as Colin Kaepernick. And when I was in the 7th grade, we had one of our PE teachers was also the football coach, because I did not stand, came over and tried to humiliate me in front of the basketball team. The girls play they do the national anthem, then the girls play, and then the guys play after that. We were sitting on the sideline and I did not stand. And what happened was myself and my father confronted him and asked him what was the purpose of standing and all that stuff, and he had no explanation, no valid reason as to why I need to stand for this national anthem. He could not prove anything. He came in front after it finished. He came over and he basically lit into me about how I was being disrespectful, about the same thing that they're doing to Colin Kaepernick. He did to me, and at the end of the day, he could not do that. So what we forced him to do in a public setting in front of both basketball teams, the girls and the women's basketball teams at that time, he had to apologize and explain the fact that he knew absolutely nothing that he was talking about. And I feel like if we can get Americans to sit and actually for 30 seconds think about what the hell does this mean? Why am I doing this? And realize that they can't say a damn thing about it, all this would go under the table.
Well, you said keyword. You said Americans.
You're in timeout.
We can't say Americans. We got to say a specific set of Americans, because not all Americans.
That's your 1%.
Not all Americans feel the same way.
No, you're right, not all American, but I mean, it doesn't. When you say a certain group, I know where you're going to, and this is the basement. You can call it the white folks. We don't care, but
Non-colored folks.
But like what I'm saying is, there's also colored folks who feel the same way about the national anthem. You can, just as far as listening to the sportscasters and how they're talking about stuff like that. Listen to the quarterbacks. Listening to Sham Newton.
Oh.
And all that bullshit.
Get him.
I really had made that moment.
So I mean, I think you actually raised a valid point going into like the response of Cam Newton, and just how he danced around it, as Stephen A. Smith says, how he definitely danced around it, and to where it is more so of his duty to make sure that he speaks. I mean, like they said, I mean, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, they are the voice for the voiceless, because a lot of our people don't have that platform. Not only do they have that platform, they're getting paid that money. And so when you see a person like Colin Kaepernick putting his career on the line like that, I mean, that makes me gravitate more so to him.
That's all.
And regardless of how other people feel, which is ridiculous, that one, right, I learned so much about the national anthem by just this controversy here. I never knew about the third verse. I just assumed that there was just that land of the free, home of the brave, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know they were rejoicing about slaves. I mean, I just didn't know.
Well, actually, like Aaron said, it's not slaves as in the African American slaves that they had here.
Yes, it was.
No, it's about the war against the British.
Yeah, the British they gave slaves freedom that they fought for.
Yeah, it's before that. So technically, it's not about the slaves that everybody's thinking about, but it still just, I guess, kind of represents that mind frame that they have.
Quickly, how does everyone feel about the shut up and play mentality? Because that's pretty much everyone. I mean, there's two things about it. First, the shut up and play, and then what are you talking about? Because as we know, Colin Kaepernick was basically raised by a white family, and so the two arguments that you hear is you don't know nothing about this because you live with a white family. Mm-mm. Does that or does that not prove our point? Number one, and number two, the shut up and play thing. Everyone is like, you need to go. You know, why are you doing this? You blah 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 blah. Three things. I'm sorry. I just thought right.
Money.
So the last preseason game they had, after the kickoff, Colin Kaepernick came out to take the first snap, and the whole stadium booed him. And then he dropped back, scrambled left, scrambled right, took off and got a first down, and the whole stadium applauded him for his what he did on the field. Makes no fucking sense to me. And on top of that, I forgot my third point.
Well, so as it relates to shut up and play, I mean, I don't think any athlete. I mean, I think if they have a voice of reason, that they should speak it. You know what I mean? They should share.
Because it's that whole. Well, you're privileged. You haven't struggled, so how can you be the voice for the voiceless? And it's like that's the whole reason we want our celebrities, we want our athletes to use their platform to bring to light what the poor or the less fortunate have been trying to say. And every time they have, it's always this connotation of, well, let's find a way to strike it down. Let's find a way to discredit it. And now you have someone that is not poor. You have someone that's very well educated, very well woke, if you want to say, using his platform and said, yeah, I've made a couple million. I went to the Super Bowl.
I remember my second point. I mean, my third point.
Third point.
Third.
Third.
So now everybody's Cyrus. Anyway, all this patriotic talk about the NFL and all this blah, 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 blah. Last year it came out that during these national anthems where they have these soldiers come out and they have the color guard come out and put all this stuff and they have them holding the flags and Most NFL teams charge the United States government to have those people come out there and do that, including the one team who call themselves the Patriots. That's all I got to say.
Boom.
Yeah, fuck the Patriots.
Go ahead, Jasmine.
Fuck
ahead.
Jazzy Jazz.
She been trying to double dutch her ass in this conversation for the longest.
I don't really have, but anyways, so about Aaron's point in regarding the standing or in the struggle, does everybody really know what his day-to-day struggle may have been in school? You're not light enough to be black. I mean, you're not dark enough to be black. You're not light enough to be white. You're not light enough to be white. So
tell
you can't
Dorian.
sit
Tell him about that struggle, Dorian.
I can speak for myself because you're not black. You're Mexican.
Oof.
Ooh. I'm not Mexican. I am part Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
So but my mama is as dark as Mel.
First of all, right?
chocolate, brown sugar.
What you're not gonna do is when she say dark as Mel, get upset. No, you're supposed to embrace your black.
You should be like, damn right, I'm blackity black.
Cause I'm black.
Anyways,
my second point is this uproar about Colin Kaepernick. We can say that about what's the WNBA team
from Mexico
who decide what was I can't remember.
Minnesota.
It was
the
Lynx.
And the Sparks, and they don't get as paid as much as Colin Kaepernick.
Well, and so it speaks to the fact that one, Colin Kaepernick, the NFL executives or front office is all white people. Mm-hmm. And so when they feel like, oh, he's taking dibs or swipes at us, then that's when they get sensitive about their feelings. And so, come on, I mean, you have the WNBA players that spoke out against Black Lives Matter. Where was the outcry? The outcry was that why are they bringing that to these arenas? And then when Colin Kaepernick takes a knee on the national anthem, why is he sitting down on the flag? Meanwhile, it's so patriotic. However, I don't understand one of my biggest issues. I don't understand the linkage of a song and patriotism, or he's denigrating the actual armed forces. And to prove your point, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off like Cyrus. To prove your point, the U.S. Defense Department paid the NFL $5.4 million to honor the soldiers. So we are going to spend to the NFL, a private organization, $5.4 million of advertisement. That doesn't make sense. At all. Meanwhile, we're getting upset because Colin Kaepernick is taking the knee.
One point that was brought up at my job was
I talk about a lot at work.
We do, and it's funny.
Nigga, do y'all work?
To be honest, but anyway, one thing that brought up was Colin Kaepernick at this point in time in his career, he had one good year. Now he's pretty much a has-been.
Right.
So we had a lot of the white folks in my work are thinking that this is a publicity stunt to get him back in there so that he can get some playing time.
Or why did he do this when he
we don't
was
see that
on
as black
top?
people.
Right, but I can see how
I've heard that before.
Interesting.
Or why did he do this? Why didn't he do this when he was on top as a?
I don't think it was
because there wasn't no Facebook streaming and there wasn't everybody didn't have an iPhone.
Philando Castile didn't
that's
happen.
another
That's
argument.
why.
We didn't get to see it, and he probably didn't get to see it either. I just want to make a comment on whether or not somebody was part of the struggle in order for them to talk about it. It doesn't matter.
Man, and I would love
wrong is wrong, and right is right. It doesn't take you to be in the hood to understand that there's something wrong in the hood, or you know what I'm saying, like. You seeing people getting shot for no reason, you don't have to live there to feel or to know that that's not right.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if he's mixed, if he's black, if he's white. He understands that we're the humanity of it. Mm-hmm. We're all human. We need to just respect that. And if everybody felt like that, we would definitely be on a totally different page right now. Right. But that's the one thing, and that's what I feel like black people need to get over as well, because I've also seen this when the Baltimore riots went on the news, and one guy was speaking, and another black guy came up to him. A black guy was speaking to the newscaster. Another guy came up and was like, "You don't know nothing about this. You're not even from Baltimore." And you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Okay, if somebody's there supporting your fight or supporting your struggle, you accept that because we need the manpower.
Now on your team.
To me, I feel a lot better about Colin Kaepernick being the one to speak up about it because he spent most of his life unaware that this is happening, and the fact that he could spend most of his life unaware and then see that this is happening and recognize that something wrong is going on speaks a whole lot more to me than Jimmy John on the street who goes through it every day.
He's going to talk about it, but nothing else. I'm sorry. I got to cut this. The irony, I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears that there's this rich guy who is speaking for the disenfranchised. I mean, Trump, that's pretty much all his supporters do. They just hear this stuff where, you're not making a lot of money, this, that, and the third. Everyone's out to get you. Colin Kaepernick, on the other hand, he points out his time and justice, and here we go.
I think it's funny that we just buried Muhammad Ali, who spoke up in the 60s and everything. And we was like, we need more athletes to do that. The one time we have one athlete to do it, he needs to sit down and shut up.
Everybody got attitude.
And then on top of that, he can relate to it because what if he has a black son? And what if he's in a predominantly white neighborhood? My brother's in that, and he does not see color, which makes him more vulnerable. He doesn't understand what can happen to him around his white friends. He can get shot just as quick as someone in the hood.
That's true.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's time.
All right, next topic.
Time to wrap it up. But I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out. Again, the New Talented 10th, excuse me, In the Basement podcast. Just a homage to the older folks. Hey, thank you. Take it easy.
I'm going to let you finish, but I just want to...